How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to Celestia Radio. It's Matthias back with Nat and Dalit here for another episode.
G'day, everyone.
Hey, good to be back.
Guys, it feels like it's been just way too long since the three of us have sat down and talked. As we sit down to record this episode, we've been having a heck of a time with technical issues.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
It's only been like 2 weeks. It hasn't been that
Half a
long.
month.
I mean,
Okay.
exactly. Like that's a good amount of time.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Believe it or not.
Yeah,
say it
see,
like
depending
that.
on how you say it, it can be a lot worse.
Ugh.
But yeah, it feels like it's been a bit. And well, first off, guys, I miss talking with you guys. It's so much
Always.
fun. It's a highlight of my
Always.
week. Helps me through the week. Love you guys.
Yeah, love you too, man.
somebody
all
loves
right.
you. Yeah, okay, well, that's fair.
Nothing
Look,
but
somebody loves me, and it's Nat at least.
Gotta love someone.
Yeah,
if
see,
not
Nat, we got
myself.
each other, man. So, guys, what's been up? What y'all been playing recently? It's been a couple weeks. What's been the poison of choice for the last couple weeks?
Dole, shall you go first?
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously there was Pal World, which took the world by absolute storm during
we
Oh, yeah.
during
we
the
were all a
latter
part of
half.
that.
Oh my goodness. I just
Even me.
I just didn't I just didn't think it was going to be like that. And then this is a game I will be returning to in between other games 100%. It's not even
Absolutely.
It's not done technically. This is an early access. This is an early access release that we have. They even released a we'll call it, yeah, you can call it a roadmap. They said we have plans.
Yeah.
We have updates.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's a roadmap.
When some of the things on that roadmap really caught me off guard, like they're adding new pals. Like, wow, I didn't actually expect that one.
Well, I would hope so.
Well, so you say that, but I really feel like they didn't need to. I'm happy that they are, mind you, because that is definitely 1/3 of the chase of this game.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
I wouldn't have been surprised to hear we don't intend on having any additional pals until after 1.0.
Yeah,
I genuinely wouldn't have been surprised to hear that.
Right.
yeah, that's kind of me. Now, to be fair, the pals they add leading up to 1.0 might just be more of the variant ones. May not be anything
Sure,
new,
sure.
but it's still
Your Nox, your Crysts, your whatever the fire variants are.
Ignis.
Ignis.
Or Ignis, yeah.
I mean, and yeah, that's awesome just to see that they're going to be doing that.
I'll take more variants. That's fine.
Yeah, especially since they all end up looking pretty good. Honestly, like they end up looking pretty good. A lot of times the variants look better than their default. Yeah, the Noct ones, since half of the Noct variants are variations on fire attribute pals, they just end up being that blue flame over a black coat. It always looks really, really clean.
It's a good look.
It's like blue and pink with black.
Yeah, it always looks really good.
The edgy fire.
Yeah, so it's amazing how much there is or was, I guess, depending on your state in the of the game, to do at early access, because Dalit, you're pretty good for the moment, I think, on everything. You've been playing other games since Pal World recently.
I have.
Yeah, and I've been playing a bunch of other games outside of Pal World recently, because I've done a lot as well. And Nat, have you been playing it recently, or have you moved on to playing some other things again?
I've been going back and forth between Power World with other games as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so depending on the time amount you got to play, and Nat did get it, as y'all heard. He did get it. He has been able to play.
Did. Yep.
Yeah, and it may have been a day or two after some of us, but
yeah.
So
a day or two.
And to be fair, Dalit had it before any of us, and then he had to restart because he had to get it on Steam so that he could play with us.
Yeah. I was on the Game Pass variant, which wasn't I assume because of console shenanigans, it wasn't getting updated as frequently.
Right.
And everyone else wanted to play the most up-to-date version, which I mean is hardly something I can fault everyone for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I eventually just popped over and just picked up the Steam version. It was cheap. It was like $26 American.
Yeah, it's a lot of the issues that I think like Warframe used to have when it was like on different versions from each of its releases.
Yeah.
Is updating the game has to go through this weird like certification process with the company, and from past experience, Microsoft is one of the worst, right up there with Apple on being the slowest people on the face of the earth with giving that cert to games to get that update.
I think it's actually pretty bad regardless of where you go. I think Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony all take a 2-week certification time. So if you
they give you that
need an
window on
update
Sony,
that isn't,
they give you that window on Sony, but Sony usually gets it done much faster.
Oh, okay.
In my experience, and I haven't played every game that's gone through this process, of course, but a lot of games, it usually goes much quicker on. I've seen on Sony, like with Warframe.
I know
those
they'll
updates
do
tend to be
emergency
quicker.
fixes really quickly, but
Yeah,
like the actual normal day or I guess month-to-month patch stuff, that's I'm gonna say that I'm really happy I majoritively play on PC because that can be done
agreed.
pretty much whenever.
Yeah,
The console cycle just feels kind of gross sometimes.
the consoles in and of themselves feel a little outdated nowadays. Sometimes I feel like is the only way to say it.
I've been saying this for years, but
it's wild. But yeah, so we've all got to play it. We've all put a considerable amount of time into it. I'd actually wager Nat or Dalit has probably done more than I have per se.
I highly doubt it for me.
It's not me. I haven't even touched one of the towers yet. I've just been building and capturing and exploring the map.
What's the highest level each of you have gotten to?
I want to say 36, but like I've been resetting my world.
Nat has me beat.
Nat's at the same point as me then, because that's the highest I think I got to was 36.
Right.
Okay, so you're both ahead of me then.
Okay.
Which makes sense. My work schedule's been pretty bad for the month. So
right.
That's fair. Yeah, I haven't done any of the other towers. But I was able to watch and enjoy some of the glitch shenanigans that people discovered and were finding out, like where you can go into the towers and capture the bosses.
Yeah, capture Zoe, my goth GF.
Freaking Seaver went and captured Zoe and then had this just tank of a pal boss that he would throw out and let do stuff. It was ridiculous.
Can she?
Yes, yeah.
Can she do stuff?
What?
Zoe herself? No, because I think the model's like glitched out. But Grisbold can actually do things.
Yeah, but say there's no way that they. Yeah, there's no way they programmed her to do things.
No.
Surely that would mean that then that
doing the work.
To the best of my
that makes much more sense.
To the best of my knowledge for the tower bosses, all it really is the PAL with the like boss's model writing them as if a player was writing the PAL, like when you can build the saddles for them or whatever.
Right.
They don't actually do anything. It's just a really big PAL with a really chunky health pool and usually a very powerful attack set to it.
Yep.
Makes sense.
So, but yeah, like massive tanky health pools outside of the norm for the majority of PALs, even the world bosses, like the level 50 ones out there, I don't think even came close to what those boss PALs in the tower do.
Oh shit, really?
Makes sense. Wouldn't want like the boss encounters to be forgettable in that way.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't make it to the point of being able to actually challenge those level 50 fights. I really wanted to, especially considering all three of them were really cool pals. Heck, I never even got to the point of being able to get Anubis because he's 47, and I can't find a rock egg to save my freaking life.
Just make one. Just breed.
That you can't get Anubis that way.
That requires That require. Oh, you can. That requires 2 Anubis, but fair enough.
You can get a rock egg. I mean, if you breed 2 rock pals, but it won't give you Anubis. If you want to get Anubis from a rock egg, you either need Anubis in the breeding pair, or you need to find one of the like really rare rock eggs in the wild.
Are you talking about like the massive or large eggs?
Whatever the second biggest and up is, or the biggest and up.
Huge.
I don't know. Yeah, because like there's one wording for an egg that's like the biggest, and I don't think I've ever actually seen an egg with that wording. So I don't know if that's just plans to be added or if they're just that rare.
Well, huge eggs exist. I know that. But
yes,
massive eggs I have not seen at all whatsoever.
Yeah, so I've never seen a massive one. I've never seen anyone find a massive one to my knowledge. But huge eggs is what you need, I think, to get Anubis out of a rock egg.
Okay.
And I can't even find regular rock eggs, let alone huge. So, which I think that's the last time I played was I just kind of got salty at the fact I could not find a huge egg. And then Nat over here,
I think it was.
And then Nat over here, freaking finding dragon eggs like they're just every
huge
other egg.
Yeah.
And I can't even find a normal one of those. So it's just bro, eggs hate me.
It's literally just RNG.
It is.
I mean, it is. I guess that's fair enough.
So that definitely that ate up a decent chunk of our time, a lot more than I think some of us anticipated. And it's funny, like we recorded that episode for Pal World, and man, like how much information came out even after that about that game.
So real quick, we did the episode on Pal World, and then of course the next day, naturally, most of the information we wanted, there it is. Not everything, obviously. We still don't have a definitive say on the whole plagiarism thing. I think that's still being tossed around, but hard to say. But yeah, everything came out like the day after, and we're like, well, shit,
yeah,
of course.
It was the day
Naturally.
after.
Why not?
We got all that information from the AI to the fact that they put guns in the game because the American audience would like it more.
Yeah.
That interview was fucking wild.
It was so wild.
It was so wild.
Why couldn't that have come out a day earlier? That would have been so much more entertaining to talk about as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of that information hits
100%.
like a day after we recorded that episode.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like the
that video is outdated already.
Yeah, it was out
immediately
outdated. But like all of the like copy claims, I've seen a couple things on. Like first and foremost, I think this was in that interview or it came out somewhere else, or whatever. Apparently, the person who did all the PAL designs was like this kid that worked at the Konbini that the company went to regularly. And
if I understood it correctly, it's a high school kid who was working, out of a Konbini, and they're not an actual like working artist, but they fucking learned on the job.
It's like, so yeah, there's some similarities. What do you expect from like a 16-year-old that has no professional experience, probably played a lot of Pokemon or Disgaea in these games, and that's what he liked, and so that's kind of what he drew. So what is it? What do you expect? If you expect it to be wholly unique, it's gonna look probably pretty similar.
I mean, I think Anubis looks wholly unique.
Okay.
No, Anubis is legitimately one of the worst offenders, but
it looks so
that
good.
being said, it looks amazing.
But then there's another factor not about that, but another thing that I saw, which was like, I mean, you can say it was like something on Twitter that just happened to pop up on my timeline. You can say what you want about Pal World being a copy of Pokemon. Pokemon's a copy of a game too back in the day. And it showed like, no, actually not SMT was the comparison they used. They showed like one of the original Dragon Quest games and the monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
And how similar a lot of the early Dragon Quest monsters look like some early Pokemon. And it's like,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that I guess every game's going to copy something. Like I think I said that in that episode that, games learn from him, copy other games.
Here is the thing, right? So the monster capturing mechanic is not owned or patented by either Nintendo or Game Freak or the Pokemon Company, right? So it's all free game, but it's as you guys have explained it, it's like, the inspiration, or just the complete rip from like the models and then placed it into other games, right? The art section of that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the Nintendo or the Pokemon Company literally have done nothing. They've had a statement saying, "Oh yeah, we're looking into it," but that was like 2 weeks ago.
That was beautiful. That was literally the Pokemon Company, Nintendo saying, yes, please stop adding us. We've seen it. We've been seeing it. We've seen it for the last 2 years. Do you think that the most litigious companies in the world were going to do nothing about this if they could?
Like,
exactly.
The speed in which they took down the mod that put actual
18 hours. So
that they had added actual Pokemon models. The speed at which they took that down, but they have done nothing or said nothing about Pal World in this entire time.
It should
say clearly. Yeah, it should speak volumes. Like, so I did say in that same episode, like, I was going to get a lengthy discourse in my DMs about the Digimon Pokemon thing.
Right.
Because of one of our continued listeners. I did. And I do, and I do, much love, always. I do want to share one thing from that.
Right,
completely unrelated.
Dox him, man. Dox him, live. Do it.
Completely unrelated, but I just found really funny fact for people out there. Do you know why all Digimon end with Mon in their name?
Is that called monsters not Pokemon in Japanese?
No.
Why?
Well, sort of, but no. Because Digimon are data files. They're literally packets of data. They're .mon files. Right. All of a Digimon's names is like Palmon, is actually pal.mon, or Terriermon is terrier.mon. And for simplification, they remove the dot.
Gabu.mon.
So it's just like they're .mon files. And I'm like, I've been a Digimon fan like my entire life, and somehow that fact just went way over my head. Probably has something to do with the lack of like good Digimon content that got localized outside of the anime.
Yes, actually.
But that just went so far over my head. So I just for that one fact alone, let alone all the other information that was in my DMs from that, I thank our listener greatly, because I feel more blessed knowing this knowledge.
Yeah, they're pretty good about that.
But so yeah, Pal World was a fun little discourse that we all got ourselves into, and I think it was like a week and a half we were all stuck in this game. Nat still going back to the game. I'm focusing on trying to get some other single player games done now. And Dolly, what else have you been playing outside of the Pal World bit?
So I bought Tekken.
Okay, how's that?
I've done some online. Well, first of all, it's a dream. Oh my god, it's so good.
We were promised some information on Tekken in the looking forward episode.
So, but before we get too hung up on that, I have gotten to play like 5 hours.
Okay, so
because thankfully I'm a veteran. There is a tutorial. It's poorly labeled, but there is one. I have not played that yet. I just went online.
So not enough time to actually give us the lowdown that you promised.
Not really. Like, I knew a lot about what I feel going into it. The game, beautiful. The characters, mostly great. The netcode, solid.
Yeah.
That's all I've got.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Haven't done arcade. Haven't done arcade mode. Haven't done the story. I suspect the story will be absolute garbage, but like really, really good garbage. Like super polished.
Is it so bad it's good?
I suspect that. Like, I expect it will be super enjoyable, but if you're being honest,
it's schlock.
Absolute schlock, yes.
Yeah. Schlock. Yeah.
Because like I said, I only got like a day to play that before. Boom! Relink. It's time. Grand Blue Fantasy. Finally, off the browser, out of the mobile, and in your machine. And now it's in my machine.
That was a very energetic intro to a game. Like, I don't... Like, listeners, we've been friends for almost 10 years now. Almost 10 years now. I'm saying this again to hurt Nollet. Almost 10 years now.
Oh, it hurts every time.
And I don't think I've ever heard him that excited about something before. Like, there was so much energy.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. I'm really tired now. So yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink came out, and it has been spectacular. The story is exactly what you would expect. It follows the Cypher and its crew going on shenanigans in a new skydom. Bunch of new primal beasts, bunch of new baddies. Everything that you would probably expect to happen in a story like this, being a JRPG, happens. Not going to go into story. There's a lot to spoil there, surprisingly.
Right. Very surprisingly.
Beat the story in like a day.
Is this game, from what you know, is this canon to the overarching fucking franchise of this game?
That's a hard one to answer, right? Because you have the story as told by the gacha game, you have the story as told by the anime, or you have the story as told by the fighting game, and now you have the story as told by Relink. Right. All of them are not necessarily telling the exact same story, from what I understand.
Exactly. Yes. Relink could be canon. I don't know. It's certainly not a retelling of a story that has already happened. It is a unique story in a unique setting using familiar elements. Characters come some characters kind of come back.
Characters come.
Gnats. We have the Cypher crew.
The yellow one.
We have the Cypher crew. They're going on adventures. They have to fight a couple of primal beasts because it's what you do, and all the rules apply. I assume you could plop this somewhere in the timeline and do 0 damage. They reference things that have already happened.
Right.
Oh, that's a fun thing. It doesn't actually give you the start of Gran starting the crew or any of that?
No, you are an established crew at this point.
Oh, that's trippy. I didn't expect that.
Everyone's together. You all are veteran Skyfarers. I love this because I don't like the opening to Grand Blue very much. I think it's kind of lame.
The opening to Grand Blue is really weak, admittedly. But that's just kind of trippy to just be dropped in on Grand Blue because there's so much to do with Grand Blue.
True. You do get that opening that you're expecting in the form of like the Danchos, because you could choose Gran or Jita, the captain's Fate episode. They go through, I met Lyria here, and Catalina was there, and there was the Erste Empire, and I think I died. Or whatever was said. That story does happen in the Fate episode, but as far as the story is concerned, nope. If you don't know, look it up. We're beginning from in media res. We are veterans.
So in the long run, that's probably better.
Yes, I agree.
Like we said, the start to Grand Blue is spotty. It's why the anime kind of had a rough time of it, because that opening is, while not bad, it's perfectly fine, but it is just kind of, it's a little weak. It doesn't really catch you right from go. I mean, depending on who you are, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's people who would have liked to see the opening done again, but I'm not one of them. I think if you want to see the opening, that you have so many ways to see it, and they even will tell you in the game. This start allows you to immediately get into action, which is fantastic.
Yeah, like fucking Persona.
Well, yeah, no, it's not like that. The whole game, I should say, is a one-sitting. Or you can one-sitting it. Like, I had a day off.
The story mode.
I got through story mode, specifically the story mode. I'm sorry, I said game. Game, right. You're going to be here for a long time. The story mode is a one-sitting. I got through about 3/4 of it in an afternoon, fell asleep, woke up the next day, and was done.
So here's a good question, and I'm going to ask it for Nat, because Nat's not going to ask it.
What's up?
Say, say I have a guess. Say Nat wanted to jump into this game, right? Say he wanted to play this game. He has no Granblue knowledge prior. How would he feel coming into this like story mode?
It's fine. Nothing that happens in the previous game, in the previous stories of the game, matter to this story. It's very self-contained.
Well, but do they introduce you introduce you to everything and everything in a good manner, in a acceptable manner? Like, does it explain stuff?
So
what about like the
I will say it's acceptable. It's probably not good if you've never done anything Granblue before. What they do is very similar to 16's active time lore.
Mm-hmm.
In that there are certain terms that characters will say on screen, and if you hit like square or X or one of the buttons, it'll bring up a glossary saying, hey, this is what that means. This was highlighted because it's a word you should know. Skyfarer, Primal Beast, other important Granblue words that I just take for granted because I know them.
Mm-hmm.
Like proper nouns, people, places, important things.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, and frankly, getting into the story, you're not required to really know any of that. It's all it's done a very good job of saying, if people don't want to read, then we'll show them.
Which is fair, especially for Granblue.
Yeah. So
the
new characters of the game I found are pretty strong. They're going to be stronger than the characters from the games by way of they have a model, they animate, and they tell a good story. So like this is just like the best these characters have ever been by nature of the medium.
Right. And I mean they chose a good pool of characters from the gacha to bring in as your starting bunch of characters you can recruit and
stuff. Will say this. If the character isn't part of the Grand Cipher group, they have nothing to do with the story.
Oh, really? There's not even like a Fate episode equivalent of them joining or anything?
Now, there are Fate episodes where you go in and they'll tell you about who they are and how they met the captain however long ago and what the captain means to them and how their bonds of friendship shall carry them through to the day. But no, like, you can consider this as, you pulled them. They're not for the story, but you can use them here.
Okay, I have some mixed feelings on that, but I'll retain them for now.
So, understandable. Because when you see a cast as eclectic as this, you have all 4 of the DKs. Sorry, let's not throw around acronyms. You have the 4 Dragon Knights, you have Narmaya, you have Yoda, you have Gondagozo, which is a weird choice.
True.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. You have all these characters. You expect that maybe they'll have something to do with the story. No, these characters were largely chosen to either cover gameplay types so that everyone can find a character they like, or because they are fan favorites and people would complain if they weren't there.
I'll say one good thing about that.
Okay.
It means in the DLC that is definitely going to come, in the characters they can pull, I can get some of the angels. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and we know that Lucilius will be a DLC fight.
Give me Sandalphon.
And I am hoping like everyone else that Sandy is playable.
Who I just got in the actual gacha game, so
oh, grats.
I'm very happy about.
In terms of the game past the story mode, did anyone play the demo?
I played the demo, yep.
Nat, did you even bother?
Nope.
He doesn't have a PlayStation 5.
Okay, so that's right. So essentially the game is boss fight simulator. Especially the further on you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
boss
like
rush.
It's you in a giant arena and you're fighting 1 to 3 bosses.
Okay.
For Matthew, do you remember the Quickedile from the demo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Earlier today I fought the Quickedile, his fiery brother, and his icy brother. All at the same time. It was really cool.
Oh, okay. Well, it's kind of cool. So, I guess that raises the question: if it is just a boss fight simulator, how's the gameplay overall? Is it?
So this is what I was getting at. I think that despite them not having a presence in the story, these characters were a good idea. Now, I like EO, so I was always going to be set from the crew. But if someone who picked up Narmaya wanted someone like that, they were never getting it without Narmaya being in the game. If someone wanted a Lancelot, they weren't going to get that fighting style without Lancelot being in the game. Like, no one on the crew was going to give them that. So I am happy they're in that regard. And it just lets people get the things that they want, whilst letting the storytellers tell the story they need without having to haphazardly throw in characters that, frankly, don't fit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fine with this. Also, this means that in the future they can do a Dragon Knight story. They can do a society story. And we can see characters that aren't associated with those groups still make appearances in those games.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, definitely you weren't going to get a very eclectic combat style in just in the crew, right? So
exactly
that's 100% fair. So I get that, and there's a huge variety of characters, so a huge variety of gameplay styles they can pull from, create, whatever for this. But to be more precise with my question, how is the gameplay itself, like as a whole? Because it's
feels great.
Because it's like you said, it's a boss simulator, right? So there's not a lot of exploration and things like that. So how's the combat? How's the gameplay?
Really. After the main story, and frankly, even during the main story, there's not a lot in terms of exploring. This really is a combat first game. Or I guess it's a narrative first combat 1.5. It feels great. It's super responsive. Like I said, I'm playing EO. I'm playing one of the slower characters, in my opinion. And I'm having an absolute blast. If you've ever played a Tales of game, a modern Tales of game, I don't know why people are so hesitant to compare it to this. This felt like a Rise. Like I have my normal attacks, and then I had a bunch of skills. That is literally the Tales of, like, trademark.
Pretty much.
So it's literally a super well polished Tales of game, if you want to think about it that way. And there are aspects to Monster Hunter about it. I absolutely see that comparison. So I'll go in and I'll farm out a boss 1, 2, 12 times if I have to. Move on to the next one.
Just to get the fucking ruby.
There are some rare drops. I feel like it's not as bad as in Monster Hunter, but there's also more important than just poor drop rates. There's also easy, normal, hard, very hard, maniac, something else, proud. There's like 8 tiers of difficulty. You say why like it's a bad thing, and I understand why you would say that. Because on paper, that sounds like a miserable fucking time.
It sounds kind of miserable, yeah.
It does. In reality, yes. you can bypass easy, normal, and hard because that's your default setting, right? Like, which one do you want to play on first? So, obviously you pick hard, right, because its game's not actually that hard. So then you move on to the next 2 difficulties because there's 2 linked at a time. And you get up. So realistically, there's like 3 or 4 difficulties. And the enemies change not only their health pool, but the methods of attack. So it's like going from, in 14, a
hard mode
trial
to an extreme mode
to a hard to an extreme to a savage.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So if you think about it like that, it feels like it makes more sense. And I feel like the drop rates are more 14 inspired than Monster Hunter inspired, where you're gonna get it sooner rather than later. Good. Like, it's like, did you get it? Did you get the thing this time? Did you get something close to it? Well, if you got enough things that are close to it, I got this here merchant that'll just trade you the piece you're looking for. So the grind is forever, because every time you think you're done upgrading something, there's a new thing to upgrade, which is great. But there are ways to mitigate it. And you're always hunting for something new. You have your weapon to upgrade, you have sigils to make yourself stronger, and you have skills to adjust how you play that character.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a highly polished Tales game with a whole lot of grind, this is it. And frankly, I hope they make like 10 more of these.
Honestly, like I've seen a lot of gameplay, right? Because Happy's been playing it, and there have been a few other like VTubers and things like that have been playing it. So it's popped up on my feed, and I've watched a little bit, a considerable bit. It looks really fun. Like it looks like a fun game to play, and it looks entertaining enough that I wouldn't mind grinding a lot in it. So I'd be interested to see if I feel that way after actually getting my hands on it.
Sure.
Which is it's on the list of games to play. There's several things ahead of it, but it's on the list of games to play. So
I will come back to play with you if I have stopped playing at the time. This game is super enjoyable.
I hope so, because it definitely feels like you want some friends to play with.
Yep, once you're through the story, there's really no reason to play alone unless you want to just level your characters. That is a bit rough doing online.
Yeah, okay. So that makes sense, I suppose.
But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
One more question for Reeling.
Sure.
And it's not actually directed towards you per se. Nat, as somebody who has no connection to this game, just I don't know if you've watched anything for it, but after like hearing this, like, do you have any interest? Are you curious?
Will you join the 100,000 concurrent players?
I'm going to be real with you. No, not necessarily.
And I didn't think you
would.
Not
necessarily. It's. I don't know. So one, I have not played a Tales of game. I do have a Tales of game in my Steam, waiting to be played. And it's just one of those things. Like, if I want to get into Grand Blue, I would rather do it from like the mobile game, because that's the one that has the most meat to it.
Nope. Don't recommend that.
No.
I absolutely recommend this game, and I recommend you in particular pick up either Vasaraga or Siegfried.
I will say I fairly agree from the story perspective.
So, but like Grand Blue happened first on mobile, correct?
No, you're absolutely right about that.
Okay. Right. So, and the way you've been describing it, it sounds like this game you would appreciate more if you know the characters before actually going into.
Hard disagree.
I would actually potentially disagree as well. I think
I was going to say why is that, but you already.
Yeah, I think the characters themselves just shine. The characters, like something Psy Games as a whole has always been really good at, across all of their titles, has been character design and interest, to the point like when you see a character and when you meet them for the first time in whatever game or medium that is, because some of their characters transcend one game and appear in all of their games. They always end up being very interesting from your first interaction, even if you don't know all of their backstory before it. There's a character I can't remember the name of that has appeared in every Psy Games game I've played. The first time I met her was like one of their newest games. It was my first time meeting her, and she dates back all the way to, I think, Grand Blue was her first game. And I met her for the first time in this game I played, and I was like, holy crap, she's really cool, she's really interesting. And she was self-contained in that game and done really well. And
is Dragalia Lost?
Yeah, I think that's where I met her. Yeah. And then she's from Grand Blue. All that to say, they make their characters really interesting and always present them really well when they bring them into a game, as if it's the first time you're meeting them. So I don't think.
Okay, that's weird to me, because I'm so used to like playing previous iterations of a franchise before playing the newest one to appreciate more of the characters.
100%. Like I'm in that same.
I get it.
I'm in that same.
I do, and I think in a lot of ways you're right to want that, even for this game. I just wouldn't send anyone to go play Grand Blue when they could just be playing this instead.
I mean, yes,
because I think as a game it's just too old.
Yes, that honestly.
And I think the writing at the beginning of the game is just too bad to hold someone to where they need to get to if they're not willing to put the time into it. Whereas with this game, you pick up,
Okay.
you see the character, they say cool shit, they do cool shit, you get to learn a bit about them. I think it's just a better way to actually draw interest to it.
Okay.
Like I'm much the same as you. I want to interact with the previous iterations of the series or whatever when I get into a game like that. Like I've been talking with a friend, our friend Kobe, about a series that he's been playing through. I think it's called Caligula Effect. And he was like, I took the recommendation to play 2 first, and then I went back to play 1. And he's like, yeah, don't play 1. If you really want to know anything about 1, watch a video, read a summary.
Yeah.
Just play 2 and either do that or forget about 1. And after he explained it to me, he showed me stuff, I was like, yeah, okay, no, that makes perfect sense. And sometimes the newer iterations of something are the better introductory to something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
okay,
that's kind of what Cygames wants to do here with this.
I would agree. I think this is a chance for them to restart interest in this.
I think this is something they want to do to not rebrand, but like sort of, yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, like I think that's the closest term we could.
Yeah. Not like a DMC style reboot, but like
to just make something new to bring interest into it, but using an existing IP. So I feel like in some ways they want people that are unfamiliar with Granblue to interact with this game. And there have been a lot of people that are unfamiliar with Granblue that have interacted with this game and really loved it. At least what I've seen online.
Right.
I think this game could absolutely stand as a fantastic starting point for a new era, not a new arc, but like a new era of Granblue.
Yeah.
Granblue.
Like if the last thing in Granblue Fantasy is to be continued in Granblue Relink series, I genuinely wouldn't even be surprised.
And
okay.
So and yes, to some extent they might be testing the waters to see if this might bring people to the gacha game as well. And inadvertently it will bring some, I'm sure.
Sure.
But I think, Cygames as a company and as where they are with Granblue and with this IP, they're not too worried about that actually. For a number of potential reasons.
Okay.
So and then also there is the fact that I think a lot of longstanding Granblue veterans would even tell you, yeah, nah, don't worry about trying to interact with the gacha game. You'd probably be better off playing Relink or something.
That's so fucking weird. It's like the complete opposite of Dissidia. Like imagine first time ever, fresh new Final Fantasy player, right? And the first game is Dissidia.
Yeah,
and like
there's a lot of spoilers in that game.
It doesn't wrap. Like you explaining this game, like it's really hard for me to wrap my head around because it, like, again, like I don't know. I haven't personally played Granblue like at all, like just period, right? Doesn't matter what the fuck it is, right? So you explaining this, how they want to do a new kind of a brand new start on how they want to introduce the world, the characters, and all that through this game, when you have the more notable Granblue Fantasy mobile game. It's just weird, and I don't know if they're successful in doing what they're doing with Relink, and they're going to continue on with that.
Yeah,
good on them.
I get how
that's probably like
the
best thing they could
I would be heartbroken if they stopped here. I genuinely would.
I would be too, and I haven't
even
played
the series going forward.
I haven't even played it yet, and I would be heartbroken. But no, I get how that like throws you, because it is weird. It's 100% like a little out of the norm for what we would be used to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You could probably attribute it to a few different things. I think something a mutual friend of ours has told me that plays Granblue is that they're not super happy with the start of their own game, with the way that writing was handled there, and they weren't super they like it's like they didn't have a clear vision of where they wanted to go with the story and things at that point in time, and that got clear the further into the game they got, whereas they know now, and so they would just
they have a vision,
right, and they think
put it out
and
properly this time rather than
and maybe the best play is this sort of reboot, right?
A reboot.
And I don't know that that's like 100% true. I don't know. Like, I can't remember if our friend told us that was like a confirmed thing the devs said, or that's fan spec. I have no idea. I don't remember.
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Because it was
Relink has more to do with the story that happens in that game. I will save you from reading too much into that name.
Stop reading into the reads.
Yeah,
we already talked about the reads.
Yeah, this isn't Final Fantasy VII. No.
Yeah.
Right. But
I don't blame you.
Definitely say they should probably do a semi reboot.
They tried.
I don't want to say a full on reboot.
They tried with the anime series.
They tried to reboot the anime series, and again, it came back to that they started from the start of where the actual mobile game takes place, and it's just it has a weak start. It's interesting, but it's weak. Like it's like I said, it's a kind of a weird thing to describe. If you go watch the anime yourself, or just play through the beginning of the mobile game or whatever, you'll see that the beginning is interesting, but it's not like you get that very interesting start, but then it's just kind of it doesn't
grip you.
Keep the interesting going forward, and then it's a weird cycle. I think if you're a fan of anime JRPGs, like Dalit said, the Tales of series is a good example. Maybe give it a shot. I know you haven't played those yourself, Matt, and
yet.
It
will happen eventually one day.
And
1 year.
But like, I can't think off the top of my head of many anime JRPGs that you've played, or at least that you've played and we've talked about. So I don't. I don't know your stance on those as a whole, but I
mean,
I feel like you might enjoy the game, so that's kind of why I was asking.
Maybe. Okay.
Definitely on sale if you're not sure.
Right.
When it goes on sale, like deeper into the year.
Is it outside PS5?
Yeah, it's on PC.
It's on PC.
Oh yes, you did say that.
Yeah, it's on PC.
Yeah, the demo was only on PS5. That was the problem.
Oh, okay, right, gotcha.
Which was weird. Which was kind of weird. I don't know why they did that.
I do understand why they did it.
Yeah, I get why they did it. It's so weird.
Yeah. PC demos have a habit of getting cracked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, that's been Dalit and catching up.
That's the last one. That's been me.
Nat, what you been up to, dog?
Oh, well, what have I been doing? I have been playing Power Word, as we have discussed.
For sure.
Yep. I have played and finished.
No, he hasn't joined the server. He doesn't want to play with
No one has fucking invited me.
Dude, I told you the server is pinned in the Discord.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well then.
Yeah.
I forgot. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, no one invited me to the Power World server. So I've also been playing, and I have beaten Pokemon Crystal. We defeated Red when I last streamed it.
That was yesterday, right?
Bro, yes, it was. Bro, I don't know what happened, but Kid Me remembered Snorlax being the wall. Fucking his Blastoids was the wall. He is so tanky.
It really ends up.
It's been a while.
It really ends up kind of being Blastoise, Charizard, or Venusaur, kind of depending on your team and which starter you went with.
To be fair, though, I did cheat because I did say Gen 2 is my cheating gen, because the choices Game Freak fucking made for Gen 2 is wild to me. They introduced Steel and Dark types in the game, and yet you do not get a decent Steel or Dark type until you get to fucking Kanto region, which is after the Elite Four the first time. So it boggles my fucking mind, right? So I cheated in.
Is that true? Can't you get Umbreon early on?
Yeah, but that's Umbreon. I'm talking about like Houndour. like Houndour should have been in Johto, in probably later parts of Johto, but you can't get that till you get to Kanto.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, Crystal's
It's
fucking
been
weird,
much
right?
too long
also,
for me.
For some reason, Mareep isn't in Crystal as well.
Wait, it's not?
No, it's not.
I don't remember that either.
Crystal is fucking weird. Like, okay, Gen 2 has some good things, right? As I said, introduction to Steel and Dark, shinies for the first time.
Must be because color was a thing for the first time.
Yes. Yeah. Like, good quality of life stuff, but like, bro, the choices on Pokemon and where the location of these Pokemon are, especially the new ones, is fucking weird to me. It just.
I feel like that was kind of rectified in the remakes of Gen 2, and
I'm hoping so bad. I don't remember off the top.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that might be what's messing with my memory of Gen 2.
Yeah, but
that would do it.
Crystal's Pokédex and Pokemon's and what's in it is fucking weird. So I cheated in Larvitar. I enjoyed my time. Larvitar completely sweeps fucking all of Silver's team. It just does not matter what Silver has. Larvitar will just fucking kill him. So I enjoyed that.
Larvitar will sweep the game.
Oh well, yes, but I cheated in a like level 8 Larvitar into like one of the caves. So I can like play with him like along with like my starter and all that. But yeah, no, Tyranitar just fucking owns, right? Except for when it comes to Red's Blastoids.
Well, yeah.
So
you've
I
said it a couple times, and I'm curious. Gen 2 introduced Dark and Steel. That we didn't see a new Pokemon type until Gen 6 with X and Y, or am I forgetting one?
No, you're right.
Yeah, okay.
It was Fairy, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
They really did. They really haven't added types too much. Huh.
Yeah. Which is
types screw up the balance too much.
Exactly right. It is completely fine that there is no new types for like every single generation because, as you have said, Dolit. But man, pre-Gen 3 Steel types, I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah,
imagine not having Levitate.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, to be fair, a lot of the pre-Gen 3 Steel types did get love when they updated like the things they learned and stuff later on and added more moves.
I mean, well, thankfully Steel types, yes. Dark types, oh man, pre-Gen 4 Dark types. I am so sorry, especially to Absol, because in
I don't know, man. Dark types got some love.
No, Matt. Pre-Gen 4, they for some reason put the elements into two categories, right? So like fire, dark, water, all their attacks are considered special attacks no matter what the actual animation is, right? And and since Absol is a pure attack Pokemon, I was going to say Palmon, Pokemon, it completely and utterly fucks Absol up because its dark attacks is scaling off its special attack, which is like nothing. It's like literally 40 for the stats, for the base stats, right? So it's nothing.
I mean, yeah.
And
okay,
then,
that's something
and then
that
things get fixed in Gen 4, thankfully, where they separate the categories and made new. But yeah, like, yeah, it's weird. I don't like it because Ghost type is considered physical and it completely fucks over Shadow Ball. It fucks over Godfall using Shadow Ball because it's using her attack and not her special attack.
That explains why that never worked so well for me.
And it completely fucks over Sharpedo because Dark is special. Dark is Sharpedo. Same thing with Absol, a attack type. It just completely fucks over a lot of Pokemon and their damage output, right?
That's some really early game Pokemon problems that you really forget about because they do eventually fix most of those.
That's why I say Gen 4 is the best in terms of quality of life.
Yeah,
they just fix a lot of the move pools.
Honestly, feels that way thinking about it, like in that retrospect, because some of those things you're really spoiled by playing newer Pokemon games.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't even played the newest Pokemon games, but I mean, talking up to Gen 6, like, oh man, that's just wild to think about.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, see, here's the thing. Like, it's all still doable, right? You can still use Absol. You can still use like, I'm trying to think who else has got like fucked over other than Absol and like Dusclops as well, and they all get fucked up, but they are still doable in that game. It's just when it comes to like min maxing and all that, it's like,
right. I mean, that's
because like I want my Pokemon to be strong, right? So yeah,
that's fair.
But yeah, so I finished Crystal. I beat Reds. I toxic stalled his fucking Blastoids because he was tanky as all shit. Fuck you, by the way, Red. Love ya. And I was like 30 levels under, right? Because his team is like mid 70s with this Pikachu being like 81, right?
Yeah.
And I was like high 40s, low 50s, right? So that was fun. I enjoyed it.
Man, younger me, it didn't even matter that I had a level 99 Pokemon when I went into that fight. The type was just not in my favor because it was a flying type.
Yeah. Just completely fucked. So yeah, next Pokemon Sunday I'm going to start Emerald, and I've already figured out my team and all that, and yeah. Now, not only that, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. That game happened.
Did you?
No, I did not play it. I watched live streams and I've seen stuff, and I'm just like, you know what? I think it's time for me to play those games, that trilogy, Batman, Arkham series.
Ah, okay.
You had played it before, right?
So, nope, never.
Oh, you never played it?
Oh, wow.
Never played it.
Oh.
The reason
Though
why
I guess I can't give you too much crap. I've actually never played Asylum. I played the other two though.
The reason
I never finished Asylum.
The reason why I've never played them is because I am a very petty person, and I just, when I looked at it when I was a kid, I was like, this looks like fucking Assassin's Creed. Why would I want to play Assassin's Creed? Because you know how Assassin's Creed is. It's literally just press button and then someone comes up behind you, then you counter them, and then you just keep on counter chaining and all that.
I'm intimately familiar. I'm an Assassin's Creed fan.
Yeah, so I was like, what? Why would I care about this? It's literally just counter chaining. It's fucking dog shit. It looks dog shit. And then, as adult me now, it was interesting. Mostly because I had to play on keyboard and mouse. I played Arkham Asylum, by the way. I played the first one. Because there's a trilogy, so I want to do it in order.
Asylum, City, and
Knights.
Yeah. So it was interesting because I time traveled back to 2009, which was interesting. I don't know, like, I don't want to say it showed its age. I don't think it did, but I think I would enjoy it more if it was on controller instead of mouse and keyboard, because there's been a few times where my counters didn't go off even though I'm pressing them at the right time.
I have heard that the PC ports of the games are a little
jank, yeah.
Right. Well, I didn't hear that, so I was going in completely blind.
Yeah, no, I had intended to pick them up on PC to play through them again, because I don't have my PS3 anymore to play through the ones that were on PS3. But a friend gave me a heads up. He's like, hey, you probably don't want to get them, even if they are super on sale, because they're really, really jank. You might be better off just getting a PS3 again really cheap to play the copies you still have. And I was like,
okay.
I'll see if I just can't get it. Like, and they did become available to download on 4 or something. And so I'm like, all right, I'll just download them on PS4 if I want to play them again or something. That's what I think I decided.
Well, again, this is literally the first time I'm hearing it. So
yeah. I was surprised when I like opened your stream when you started, and I was like playing Arkham Asylum. I'm like, what?
Yep.
I didn't say anything. I was just sitting there watching, and I was watching you rage, which was kind of fun because you kept hitting some of your counters not going off, and I was like, yep, okay.
Yeah, like that is my biggest gripe, and when I say biggest gripe, I don't really mean it like that big compared to like some other games, but like not getting those counters felt bad because I would obviously drop my combo, and then it just, I don't know, I felt like I was just being punished for playing it not not the intended way, which is on console, or not using a console control or some shit like that. It was really fucking weird. But like the actual exploration, the characters, the story, the dial, oh my god, so fucking good.
Yup.
Oh my god, it feels like I'm just playing the fucking Batman animated series. It's fucking great.
It's that cast.
Oh my god, yes it is. Yeah, Kevin Conroy. I don't know the chick who voices Harley Quinn, but I'm pretty sure it's the exact same one.
It is. It was Arlene Sorkin before she died.
Thank God. Because that Mr. J. Oh,
yeah, Tara Strong takes over in the next game, I believe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Because Arlene had retired at that point.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And still fantastic. So you don't have to worry about that. Like the performance.
Yeah, she does. Like she's a great voice match. You'll hear the difference if you're looking for it, but she's a great voice match.
I won't hear Riku from 10, right?
No.
I won't hear Raven from Teen Titans, right?
Vastly different voice.
Okay, I won't hear Twilight Princess from My Little Pony, right?
Why do you know that?
I do not know what that sounds like, but my gut tells me to say no, because
Princess Twilight, what the fucking her name is?
Fucking Harley Quinn has a very unique voice.
Yes, thankfully.
Arlene Sorkin was not your typical Goyle, and yeah, Tara does a great job. Just a great job.
Okay, well that's good. But yeah, like everything, I don't want to say outside of the combat, because the combat also felt good. Like,
so I will let you know,
especially for the time.
Yes, especially for the time. That being said, though, I feel like there is no invincibility frames on his dodge roll, and it was very reliant on the animation itself, like flipping over characters for the invincibility rather than the normal dodge roll where you do while not dodging roll into an enemy.
That might be true. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because of the age of the game. So
maybe.
I will let you know that the combat, like I can't speak for certain on the PC ports because I've heard about some jank. Maybe all this time later some of that jank is gone. So the things the things you're dealing with are just native to the age of the game. I will say because I put a lot more time into Arkham City than I did Asylum. Combat definitely feels way better going into that. So
yeah, I figured as much, but yeah, like it was, what was it? It was 2009, then it went into 2011, 12, and then it was like 2015 for Knights.
Yeah, I know Night was about 2015. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Night had some issues at launch, but I'm sure if they've evened it out, it's a very good game now. So
well, that's good to hear. Yeah, like I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the detective stuff, even though they really only give you like a limited amount of like detective work. Because when you put on your detective I forgot what it's called. It gives you like an orange layout with like the border of where you're investigating. I kind of wish that was a little bit bigger so I can actually explore. Investigate. Right?
I think that is also like improved a lot as the series progresses. I think.
Okay, yeah, it really might just be that since it's the first game of that. I don't want to say trilogy because there is more than those three, but the Arkham franchise. I do feel like it is just part of that.
I feel like
time era.
Yeah, they didn't really try to push much with the first game, and then it did really well, and then they started, pushing those boundaries and really expanding with the series.
Right. Yeah.
Because your modern superhero games, I don't think it's an unfair argument or stance to say that the Arkham series is like the forefather of the modern superhero games. Like all.
For sure. There's so many games that have openly admitted to, we used the Arkham series as our base.
Yeah, wasn't Marvel Superman 2 that literally just outright said it that Arkham Knights was like our inspiration?
Marvel Superman?
Did you mean Spider-Man?
Wait, what did I say?
You said Superman.
Superman.
Oh, sorry, yes. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is one of them, yeah.
I don't know if they've outright said it, but like everyone else has said it about like if you've played the Arkham games, that's very clearly where they're coming from.
I'm almost certain the devs have even said no, there was inspiration drawn.
Because they play video games, so makes sense.
Like honestly, okay. Nat, when you finish the Arkham series, the first 2 of the Spider-Man games are on Steam, and there is no issues. You should 100% pick those up and play those as well. Because
I'll consider it.
They are very, very good, and if you like the Batman games because they feel like the old cartoon, they feel like Batman, you'll like the Spider-Man games because they feel like Spider-Man.
Okay. That's good to hear.
It is like the most, like, I guess you could say the most direct spiritual successor in a sense, because it is a true to the superhero video game about that superhero. Like, I mean, y'all heard me praise Spider-Man 2 last year up and down. Like, freaking love that game.
Yeah. But yeah, even the introduction to the game was fucking great.
Yeah.
You know, it says Arkham Asylum, and it's like there was a sign, it's like Arkham Asylum, like hitchhikers may be asylum escapees and all that shit. That was funny. And then you walk around with Joker strapped onto a fucking I don't know what they're called, where you strap people to like the fucking not the tables, but like not a stretcher. No, not stretcher, but like the like full body like straps on like a I don't want to say table because it's not a fucking table. What is it?
A roller, a stretcher.
Roller, roller stretcher, some shit like that, right?
Well,
and, you're just hearing fucking Mark Hamill going off.
9 out of 10 times, those are straight jackets they're in, and the straight jackets is what's strapped down.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. But yeah, and, like, you're just hearing Mark Hamill going off as the Joker, and I'm like, I can't hear Master Ericus. I can't hear Luke Skywalker.
Is his best role as the Joker. I don't care how iconic fucking Luke Skywalker is. His best role is the Joker.
100%. When he played Toymaker in the DC TV universe, he channeled the Joker. You can tell very.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That being said, though, there are some lines. It's mostly at the tail end of the lines where I'm like, there it is. There's like Mark Hamill's like just like normal voice, right?
Speaking voice, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it works because you know how Joker always plays up his like persona and voice and all that, and then when he's like really serious, he has his speaking voice, and you're like, it's fucking great. Mark Hamill does a great job as Joker. Kevin Conroy does a great job as Batman.
He is the definitive Batman.
Yeah, it's
I
fucking great.
can't tell you how fucking gutted I am that his last game is going to be fucking Suicide Squad. I am genuinely gutted about that.
Yeah. But no, the original Batman animation cast, they nailed that on the go. Like,
so good.
I've also been watching the TAS on Netflix.
It's so good.
It is.
Wait, what were you watching?
No, just wait for
the animated series.
Yeah.
Wait, the animated series is on Netflix?
Yeah. Didn't you know?
It might not be on US.
Oh, right. Wait, no, didn't we talk about this before, Matt?
We talked about things being on Netflix that weren't on Netflix in different regions. Yeah, I don't remember if Batman came up.
Bro,
look,
it's so fucking sad.
Bro, if it is, let me tell you, after I finish my stream, after we're done recording, and it's what I'm going to be doing when I go through my workout routine for the evening. It's like,
all right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching and listening, and I hope you all have a good day. Goodbye, everyone.
Whatever, man. I still got a stream to go through this recording.
All right, but seriously though, I'm still waiting for Brave and the Bold to be on Netflix. Because
I never saw it. I heard it was good.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just as good. as the anime series. Justice League is also on Netflix as well, so and Young Justice
JLA
as
was
well.
great.
Young Justice, yeah, Young Justice is very good. I've seen that.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for Brave and the Bold to be on, so I can do like a fucking a marathon of like all those fucking
Sure, yeah,
series, yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so I enjoyed my time with Asylum despite a little bit of controller issues.
And going into
But other than that,
now?
it was fucking good. I liked it.
And going into City now, then?
Yes, I am going to City once.
Let's go. The opening to
ready
City is actually amazing.
It's great.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, no spoilers. No, shut up.
No.
Spoilers.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all.
No, because like that game in particular needs to be experienced.
Yeah, that one definitely.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, definitely playing City sooner rather than later.
Nice.
And then I want to say that is it for me and video games as of right now.
Hey, not bad though.
Not bad at all.
Thank you. So yeah, Batman, Arkham series, good games. Go get them. Go play.
Yeah, you should you owe it to yourself to play them. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like any of our listeners, if y'all haven't played them, definitely do yourself a favor to play them.
Yeah. What about you, Matthew? What have you been getting up to these last couple weeks?
As we've all stated, Pal World, obviously, but
true.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you what I've not been playing. I haven't been playing Persona 3 Reload because
Matthew, you've been talking about playing a remake to Persona 3 for a very long time.
I have been one of those
P3 fast, bro.
Dude, I've been one of the most vocal voices on the internet for years. Like, there's been a tweet from me like once a week for the last 3 years, it feels like, saying, so Persona 3 remake win. And it's finally a thing. It finally got announced. We're finally getting it. We finally got it. And your boy has no spare cash to pick it up. And I'm just forced to just watch and listen to everybody play it. And I'm just like, not to mention Alejandro's voicing in it. And I want to hear it so bad because my boy is amazingly talented. And
I have to admit, I am surprised that you don't pay like the $10 for Game Pass.
Oh, we've explained that. I don't support Microsoft. If I can help it, I don't give them any more money than absolutely necessary.
We have you're right. We've talked about this.
we've talked about that.
There you go.
Like I already give them enough money in that I have to use a Windows computer. That's all the money they're getting out of me if I can help it.
Yeah.
No, it's I'm even outside of my petty grudge with Microsoft that I've had for most of my life. I'm just one of those people who, when I play a game, it's why I was never big into pirating stuff in the early eras of the internet and stuff, right? Because when I play a game, or even when it comes to when I read books and stuff, I like to own it myself. I like to buy it, pick it up, own it, support the creator, whatever. When I play or read or do whatever. That's just how I am. Maybe it has something to do with me wanting to have been a writer at one point in my life, or I still fancy myself a writer to some degree. So it's like, hey, if I put a book out, or if I learned to draw and drew a manga, I would like it if my fans bought it so that it actually showed that people liked it, I guess.
Yeah.
And same thing with games. Like if I made a game, because at one point in my life I was looking at becoming something to do with making games. I guess still am in some aspects. It's like if I put a lot of time into a game, I would like it if people bought the game. I guess with Game Pass and PlayStation Plus or whatever, though it's not as well worth the money as Game Pass, the company is still getting their money because of the deal, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That my mindset is just if I want to play something, or if I like something, I want to buy it and own it myself. Also, like, because it's dependent on me like having to pay that $10 for the month and then having that time frame of playing in, and then I pay $10 like this is strictly for Game Pass. I pay the $10. I have a month to play it, and then that month I get slammed with work, or I get slammed with something terrible happens, or internet goes out or whatever, and then I don't get to play it, and then it's like, oh well, now I don't have it because I didn't pay $10 for the other month. Pay $10 again, try to do it again. Something else can happen, and it's just that eventuality that me thinking the worst possible outcome of I just get slammed for time, or because I'm bad about consistently playing games sometimes. Doesn't normally apply to Persona, mind you, but I'm bad about consistently playing games. That I feel like it would take me a few months of Game Pass to actually get through the game, and at that point I might as well just buy the game.
Yeah.
So if you
you're right.
If you want my silly
unfiltered opinion,
well, my silly petty grudge against Microsoft aside, that's one of the main reasons I'm not.
No, for sure. You're right. We've absolutely spoken about it before. Completely forgot.
Yeah, but no, it's a game I have been looking forward to, been wanting for what year is it? 2024? 12, 14 years, something like that.
Something like that.
Back when I first got into the Persona series, I have wanted this game. I got into the Persona series. The newest game was Persona 4 Golden. I think Golden. I think it was Golden. Yeah, yes. I think it was Golden.
Yes.
Yep. I played Golden. I loved Golden. I went back and bought a physical copy of Persona 4, regular, just because I wanted it on my shelf, that I have since lost and I cry about. I went back and bought P3 Fest, because that was
oh, thank God,
because that was the quote unquote definitive edition of
yes,
of P3 at because it's it was the Golden equivalent, right? So I went back and bought P3 Fest, and I still have that. I don't know how I lost my P4, but I didn't lose my P3 Fest. But I never finished it in a lot, honestly, just because I couldn't control my teammates.
There's the one, literally the one downside of Fest, but everything else is an upgrade.
I just could not control my teammates, and that's just infuriated me. I made it a decent way into the game, but I did not finish it. So I made it well and far enough into the game that I knew the majority of the story, and I loved I never got to the Fest portion for sure, but I loved the game so much. I loved the story, loved the characters, and I'm just oh my goodness, I want this in a form where the game is actually enjoyable to play. So I want this remake. I've been craving it for it almost feels like half my life at this point, I guess.
Damn.
And
Bulge.
And it's finally here, and I just haven't been able to get it. And it's finally here with an absolutely amazing English voiceover cast.
The cast is absolutely spectacular.
It's not even just Alejandro. It's they have Susie Young, and they have so many other amazing voices in this game. And then some of them, not some amazing voices that aren't even voicing major characters, that just are voicing some of the smaller side characters that help really bring this game to life. I've heard tons of people that have played the original P3 games, whether it be original P3, Fest, or Portable, and are talking about
for the Portable players,
and are talking about how characters that didn't have as much personality or whatever in the original version, because of the talents doing the voice acting and stuff now, makes the character feel so much more alive and more interesting. And it's just it sounds so much like everything I've been asking for. It looks so much like everything I've been asking for. I just want to play this game so badly, y'all. I am literally crying about it. I want this game. I love Persona. It's
just go play it, man.
I literally, when we did our first episode and I talked about my favorite game, I threw P5 out there because I love Persona 5 and it's so good. Yeah, I think I want to play through Reload and to say definitively if 5 is my favorite Persona, because I think 3's story is absolutely incredible.
I think 3 has the best story of the series. It's just, unfortunately confined to 3, which may now not be an issue anymore.
Yeah, which is potentially not an issue anymore. So I'm like, I really want to play through it all again to see if I can say definitively 5 is my favorite or not, because it was hard saying that because I knew how good 3's story was. I'm sorry, P4, as much as I love you, you just aren't going to be my favorite.
No, P4 is the weakest of the 3.
Like, I think
it's still really good.
Yeah, I think P4 is still an incredible game. It's just not my favorite. It is definitely the weakest. So I would love to play through it and be able to definitively say whether 5 is my favorite or not. Which a part of me feels like there's a chance, just because of the aesthetic theming of Phantom Thieves is something very close to me as a fan of the original Arsène Lupin novel and Sherlock Holmes and that entire like noir aesthetic.
Right.
So but no, P3 story is just incredible. So I really like, and it's been so long now since I played it. It would almost be like playing it fresh, because like there's so many like small details I can't remember and stuff. I just it's what I want to be playing, and it is not what I've been playing, unfortunately. Of course, when I am able to pick it up and start playing, the entire internet will know. Y'all won't have to worry about there being an episode. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm sure there will be plenty said about it. If you follow me on Twitch, bro, I'll be streaming that on every one of my stream days in the week, most likely. Like back when I was like hard pushing through Cold Steel too. So
yeah.
But that's what I want to be playing, not what I've been playing. What I have been playing outside of aforementioned Pal World. I played 14. I've been playing it a decent bit.
What the fuck? What is wrong with you?
Bro, I'm trying to catch up before Andreo comes out, so I'm
yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm close, but I keep getting distracted, like leveling Ninja. Because I've actually started to really enjoy playing through Ninja, so
right.
It does get very fun into the higher levels, so there is a chance that if I don't particularly enjoy Viper, which I don't see happening, I might actually just play through as a Ninja, because I have really been enjoying it.
I mean, they both share the same gear, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. And well, like as I've been playing 14, I've been like watching some 14 content, just a little bit on the side. I watched a group running through the old ARR extreme mode trials with only 2 people having the veteran status and having actually done these fights back in the day. And well, first off, it was really amusing watching a lot of new players learn and do the mechanics, and just doing content that wasn't outside of 14's like base level content. It was the actual, semi-difficult content. Like it's meant to be a little bit more challenging. It's very fun to watch the new players learn and grow and get better through the multiple attempts. It was very amusing watching the veteran players who haven't done the fight in years go like, I think this is how this goes. I'm trying to remember this on the spot as I tell you guys what we're doing, and that was really fun. Shout out to those veterans, being able to pull through, and then also listening to them laugh about, dude, playing things at 50 again, where you're missing so much of your kit, wild. Because one of them was their healer, and their healer was like, it's so weird not having my lilies and being able to do stuff.
Yeah. It's actually insane.
Doesn't have to be like that, 14 guys.
Yeah,
doesn't have to be like that. You could fix that. You could just give me my whole... I've said this. It's good. I'm good.
No, go on, say it. Say it again. Say it.
No, it's fine. They know what I think. They know I want my full rotation. They know.
It also, watching a full group of friends like do extreme content and stuff, made me really nostalgic. And when we were a full group back in the day with 8 of us doing like Susano, and not even necessarily Savage, but Savage too, because we were doing it as a full 8-man group.
Oh yeah, Susano Extreme, yeah.
We were doing our extreme mode trials. I realize I really miss doing full 8-man group content stuff with my friends. Like, and I kind of miss doing the challenging content and, learning it and getting better at it, getting good and being able to do
Come
it.
to Relink, play with Shell, Aqua, and I.
I mean,
well, what about me?
You don't have Relink.
Oh yeah.
You also come to Relink, play with Matthew, Aqua, Shell, and I.
I mean, I want to get Relink too, but it's one of those things that if I pick up a new game, you know it's going to be Persona. So,
That's fair.
if somebody wants to just drop me both games in my Steam right now, you're the best. But no, it's I miss it. I miss doing this content and learning, and it like I remember what it was like, doing Savage and doing that content. I miss the challenge of learning a fight and getting used to the fight and feeling like, because back then I was our tank, right? And at that point in time, it was one of the prime times where I didn't feel like I was a bad tank. I felt like a very competent player, and I kind of missed that too, right? Because it made me, have some confidence in my skill. So I miss all of that, and in some extent it's kind of sad because there isn't a full group of 8 of us that play anymore. And even though there are probably several of us that do play, it's not several of us that play in a consistent timeline or schedule that we could do that, right?
Yeah.
And I want to do the challenging stuff. I'm not saying I want to do ultimate. I'm not going to be like the goddess Say and her going to clear all the ultimates because she is beyond talented.
Say is actually really cool.
She is our resident 14 goddess. She's going to clear all of the ultimates before Dawn Trail. So
true.
It's going to happen. But no, yeah, she is
goddamn lizard.
She's fantastic. And I'm not saying I want to be anywhere near her skill level, clearly. Like, I don't know that I want to try the pinnacle of difficult content, though I would be curious. I don't know that I want to try the pinnacle.
On. Yeah, I mean, you want to, man.
I want to try.
Don't lie to yourself.
I want to try it. I want to see. I want to see how I hold up, but I don't.
Obviously, don't do T first for obvious reasons, but you should definitely try out like the first ultimate raid and see how that goes.
Yeah,
see if you like it or not.
So it's like I'd like to do that, but it's one of those things. And watching that like watching the streamers I was watching do it, it's I don't want to just do it with anybody. I want to do it with a group of friends, and I want to do it with a group of friends that is of a similar mindset. Like probably why I wouldn't be able to do it with
no, not similar. The same mindset, because if you have similar mindset, you're gonna I'm
gonna keep it a buck with you. I know who plays that game. I know who can play that game. I don't think we have a group of people that can actually clear an ultimate. I don't think we have people with the mindset for it. Like, just to be super real, we could go in and like absolutely wipe forever and like have a good fun with it, but I don't know that we have what it takes to actually get the clear. We're missing a couple of people to really push.
Yeah, like that's kind of the thing, right? Is like I want a group that we can go in, and even if we're wiping consistently, we're having fun and a good time, and it doesn't stress whether we get the clear or not, and just has fun in the progression. Like I guess in a sense, I want like that super casual friend group, just doing it for the fun of doing it and learning and progressing, but doesn't take the achieving it super seriously, right? Does that make sense? Am I making sense with that?
Yeah.
No, you're making sense.
So it's like, I know our friend group, and like, whereas I could probably get a group, they would either take it too seriously or not seriously enough. Because like, obviously, you want to have fun, you want to goof off and all that stuff, but you do want to take it just serious enough that you are actually trying, right?
Yeah. Like, you don't want to literally have fucking DPS that doesn't use the like food buffs. Like, that's the bare fucking minimum, right?
Okay, I'm not commenting on the food potions materia stuff. I'm probably not I'm probably not the person that should comment
The
on
bare
that.
minimum for ultimate is using fucking foods.
I know.
And then the next step is potions. Even for progression, you would still use potions.
I know.
Yes.
Have I told the story on the podcast?
You have absolutely told this story on the podcast.
Okay.
Nat's just forgetting.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Right. So, yeah, I've watched some 14. I've been playing some 14. I've been feeling a bit of nostalgia with 14. And it is kind of heartbreaking to think that I may never actually be able to do that.
Don't think that way.
I mean, it's just a lot of our friends have stopped playing. So it's like I don't even think we have that many anymore. So it's a little sad when you think about it, because that's like how all of us met, not just us three, but like all of us in general, in one way or another, basically met through 14. So
it's more or less true.
Yeah. So it's a little sad, but I've been playing that a little bit. That's what I've been playing. I mean, I started playing Samurai Remnant again, but like I've only done that one time, and I might do it some more, to try and finally at least finish a playthrough of that. And actually, like my last 2 streams were just chatting mostly, where I was talking about games and stuff. And I think that's really I have been playing Genshin again. I mean, I've been playing Genshin, not really an again thing.
I was say
so
again.
Sorry.
Yeah, again would imply that you stopped.
Yeah, I was say I've been playing Genshin. I mean, I wasn't like actively playing. I was just kind of logging in, grabbing my stuff.
He took a 3-hour break, listeners, and then he played it again.
Shut up.
That's that's what he considers a break from Genshin.
I was just logging in, doing like grabbing my daily stuff and logging out. I've actually been playing, I should say, instead of just doing dailies, because new patch rolled in. Your boy got super lucky and actually won a 50-50. I now own every Archon in the game, and I am so happy.
Yep.
I have the Precious Bean. I have Best Girl. I have the. I just have them all. They're all.
Fanboy.
They're all there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I've been playing Genshin, and I've been playing Warframe off. Like I keep saying I'm gonna do it on stream, but I've been doing it off stream a little bit, and I've been like farming affinity and things like that. So I haven't.
Affinity is experience, by the way, listeners.
Yeah, for those who don't play, that's what it is. So yeah, like it's kind of unlike you guys, like having a definitive game I've been playing. I don't really have anything that I've been playing like definitively recently, because it was like Pal World for a while. Then we had our server go down for a few days, and I didn't really play much during that time.
Right.
And so it's just me been poking at the like live service games that I play. So
So because you're not playing Persona 3 Reload, you do not have a definitive game that you're playing as of right now.
Pretty much, I've just been sitting in a corner crying about not having Reload.
I mean, frankly, understandable.
I mean, normally I'm sitting in a corner crying because I'm just depressed and miserable. But now it's just because I don't have Reload.
You know what? Everyone's been going on and on about 3 and 4 and 5. What about 6 and 7? I thought we were getting those soon.
Come on, Persona?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look, I'm going to be real with you. I just want SMT5 on PC and an SMT6.
Is SMT4 on PC?
No. Well, first of all, maybe not 4. No, 4 was on DS, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
So no, that's definitely not on PC. 5's not on PC either. That's stuck on the Switch. I have Nocturne, which was redone, which I mean I'm all about.
Yeah.
I do
want 5 on PC as well.
I want 5 on PC.
Yeah.
And I want a 6 because I like SMT more than I like Persona.
I'm the other way, but I would like.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like 5 on PC as well. To be fair,
I would like to have more than 12 FPS in the overworld on SMT5. That'd be fucking.
Gotta be nice, wouldn't it? Eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
To answer the question on Persona, we thought we'd get something. I think it was last year was like one of their big anniversaries or whatever. We thought we were going to get something or the year before that or whatever, and we never did. And
let me stop you right there, Matt. I was trying to make a joke, but I didn't fulfill the joke completely.
Oh, okay.
The joke was that Persona 1 and 2 character. So do you remember the image of like all the Persona protagonists, right? And then there's some, like, again, this was like literally years ago, right? Someone said that the Persona 1 and 2 protagonists were Persona 6 and 7 protagonists that Atlas like leaked or some shit. They actually said that.
I did not.
Do you not remember that?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my fucking god!
I've not seen that. Wow. I mean, it's not surprising.
If you remember that, good on you, because that shit is so fucking funny to me.
I mean, it's not surprising. Most of your modern Persona fan base don't even know about 1 and 2 because they are consigned to a very forgotten age. Like they are old
like
games.
on one hand, they really do need to remake 1 and 2.
They absolutely do.
They also need to
keep Hitler as well in 2. I swear to God, they change it. No,
no, they don't. What they need to do is they need to not call it Persona. They just need to be a Shin Megami Tensei.
You say that there is a loose connection between the at least Persona 2 and 3. So
I'm not even sure it's worth mentioning.
Oh, really?
Though.
Yeah.
So
is it because of the one of the characters?
So in Persona 3, they I guess this is spoilers for Persona 3 for anybody wanting to play Reload.
No, it's not, because Persona 3 is fucking how many years old?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of people that haven't played it because they're new fans and stuff. So, spoilers for Persona 3, just so you know.
Anyway, so.
Skip ahead 10 minutes, 5 minutes, all right? It's probably not even going to take that long. They talk about the creation of the Dark Hour at some point in the game. And it's because they had, like, the scientist team or whatever had found a shadow and they were experimenting with it or whatever. There's implications that the reason they found the shadows, the enemies, was because they captured one that got loose from the events in like 2 or whatever. Because how else would that shadow have gotten into the real world, kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah, there's loose implications that, there is a direct connection. And then of course the butterfly motif is technically a connection because the first 2 Persona games had a
it's just a Velvet Room thing now.
It's just a Velvet Room thing now, but it like
I wouldn't say Velvet Room, it's the goddess, right?
The god. It was I'm pretty sure he was I think he was identified male in the games.
Right.
Yeah, like the first 2 games were basically because Persona's always, like, even with 3, 4, and 5, it was about these deity entities coming into existence and wreaking havoc in some extent, right?
Yes.
It's about 2 such entities.
Playing chess with humanity.
Playing chess with humanity and monsters, like in a small, contained in a central location. The butterfly representing the good one. And then, and then the Velvet Room were basically his direct servants. And like with 3 onward, like after the events of 2, like the game was over, he won. And he's like, all right, well, there's nothing else I need to do. I'm just going to let humanity be humanity. And then he gave the Velvet Room to Igor and is just like, all right, you just, be there to help humanity in those moments or whatever. Obviously not actual dialogue anywhere. It's just the implications that have kind of been set up in the series overall. I'm sure there's Persona lore aficionados out there who will critique what I've said, and my explanation is probably rough, but yeah.
The general idea, that is correct, though.
Yeah, the general idea should be the same.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, guys, that's what we've been up to, and again, I said it at the beginning, I'll say it again now. It's great to sit down and chat with you boys again. Missed it.
Hell yeah.
Let's hope technology is our friend and we don't have this issue again going forward. We can hang out without.
Oh,
please.
It's not even just technology, Mother Nature, right? Mother Nature hasn't been our friend either. So. But thank you all, listeners, for, as always, for sticking with us, hanging out, listening, and yeah. You guys, if you want to leave your opinions on the games we talked about, your experience with Relink, Persona, with Arkham, with Spider-Man, any things we talk about, you can leave it in the comment section on YouTube side. You can tweet it at us over on Twitter at Celestia Radio PD. And then, of course, if you have suggestions or things you want to hear us talk about in the episode, the aforementioned ways work, or you can use the hashtag AskCRP. As always, guys, we really appreciate you all. Be sure to tell your friends about us, share us around, and yeah, we, as always, greatly, greatly appreciate you, and we will see you all in the next one.
Take care, everyone.
Be good now.
Peace.
Peace.